How you guys doing? This is Stephen Tulloch, 11-year NFL veteran, founder of Circle House Coffee, entrepreneur, and this is NFL Second Ass Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Peanut Tillman, and this guy right over here to my left, that's Roman Harper, and this is the NFL Players Second Acts Podcast. Talk to the people.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Number one, all of our followers, viewers, please continue to follow. Tell a friend to do what, Peanut?
Tell a friend.
Thank you. Give us a 5-star rating. Give us a review. Also, click that follow button wherever you pick up your podcast, whether it's Apple Podcasts or iHeartRadio. Please continue to look in. Click, tell somebody. Let's go, Peanut. I'm really excited about this next guest. He's an entrepreneur, done so many great things, great football player. Really want to, and what he's drinking right now is absolutely amazing, mind-blowing.
I'm going to let you read the bio. Do you want to read the bio? You
no, I
read
don't.
His resume? Okay, all right, I got it, because you read everything else. All right, so check it. This gentleman played 11 years in the NFL for the Titans, the Lions, and the Eagles. In 2012 and 13, he made the NFL Top 100 list. He received the Walter Payton Man of the Year nomination, Community Service Award 4 times during his career. Now he's a philanthropist, author, and entrepreneur. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Stephen Tulloch to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you, man. Again, I want to reiterate, man, how proud I am of you guys as transitioned very well into your podcast. Phenomenal. Follow very well, and I wish you guys much success as you guys keep going on your journey. So just want to get that out there first.
You know what, man? Let me just get this out. Let me just say the first cuss word of the podcast. Damn right. Appreciate that. Thank you for that.
That's dope. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, man. So you turned 39 January the 1st.
Yes,
Number one, what is that like?
Bringing it.
How's 39 treating you? All right, Peanut is much older than that.
He's
barely older
though.
than that. How is that treating you? How's it all going? What was that
I think
like?
it's a blessing, man. I mean, to be born New Year's Day, you start the year off with a new birthday.
Yeah.
I think it's it's a good feeling. Obviously, Capricorns, we work hard. We're hard workers. We're go-getters. So New Year's Day is a blessing to be born on that day and to be able to start the year off on the right track.
All right, what are you looking forward to in 40? Like, is 40 going to be different for you?
Yeah, man. I think 40 for me, number one, settling down, family, kids, the whole nine. But I think just the transition, man, I've been retired about 6-7 years now. So to be able to fully transition out of the game, you know how it is when you leave the game. It takes a while to kind of get your feet under you. But it feels good now to be a mentor to younger players, working with the NFL, these young guys that are transitioning from the NFL, being a voice for them, a role model for these young guys. So I take on that role. I pride myself in that role, leading by example. So just being more of a leader and a family guy, for sure.
Yeah, so at 39, are you happy with where life is and where you are at 39 right now?
Oh, very. As a 4th-round draft pick to play 11 years and to be able to transition into real estate and into the coffee business, it's phenomenal. I think just going to these entrepreneurship courses during the course of my career helped prepare me for life after football and put me in a good lane to be able to pay it back forward to young guys.
We were talking to the commissioner about all the programs that the NFL has to offer. And since you talked about the entrepreneurship, like what's one of the best things that you received from that entrepreneurship program?
I'll say in 2006 when I got drafted, I had a mentor by the name of David Thornton. Came from the Colts over, was a free agent. He took me under his wing and said, you can go 1 or 2 routes, young boy. You can follow that guy over there, XYZ, or you can follow me. So I followed him. I went to Goldsboro, to his hometown, showed me how to run his foundation, how to be a pro on and off the field, how to take care of my body, and talked to me about entrepreneurship program the NFL provides. So I went to Stanford University as a second-year player. I went to Stephen Ross School of Business as a 4th or 5th-year player. Went to University of Miami Business School in the off-season. So just the networking and being in those rooms with those people helped me propel my mindset to understand that there is life after football.
Right.
And I have a Kickstarter, to be able to prepare for that. So having that mentorship really prepared me for life after football. And I just thank David a lot just for pulling me under his wings and leading me in the right direction.
I love the fact that, most of us, when we're playing football, we're just playing football.
Right.
But you literally took advantage of all these opportunities that the NFL has offered
Absolutely.
you. And you've taken that and you put into your everyday life. So
Absolutely.
Could you maybe talk to us a little bit about that part of it and what you're doing right now?
I think it's important, man, just to have the opportunity to even play in the game. I'm just thankful to have the privilege to even get drafted and play as long as I did. A good mentor of mine is a guy named Eric Thomas. He's a hip-hop preacher. He's my right-hand guy, and he's really guided me out throughout the course of my career, just preparing mentally of how bad you want to succeed. And my mom being a single parent, it taught me a lot about adversity, going through ups and downs, and just making her proud was my number one goal. And I live with that chip every day of my life, is to keep making myself proud and my mom proud and my family. So just taking advantage of every opportunity that I have, I think is big for me. I got into the coffee business and got into real estate. And just like I said, going to these entrepreneurship courses really helped my mindset and understanding my weaknesses and where I need help and strength and consulting. So being able to have a great team, it's not about me, it's the team of people around me, and my publicists, my consultants, everyone who I pay to kind of help guide me in the right direction to help mitigate my risk, really help put me in a good position.
Yeah. All the correct words, mitigating risk.
Hey, taking advantage of the system.
Not being the smartest guy in the room, continue to have people find my blind spots. Yeah. These are all great business-minded thoughts and directions. So great job on you. Talking about overachieving or accomplishing certain things. What about your beloved Detroit Lions this year? Could we maybe talk about them?
Yeah.
I mean, the good.
Okay.
All right. We're probably a couple weeks away from the bad, but let's talk about the good. You were there for the in Ford Field the night of the playoffs. Once again, I saw it on Instagram. Yeah. And so you look like you were having a great time throwing T-shirts with Golden Tate and a couple other guys.
All of us,
And what was it like in the building that day? Understand that you've been to the playoffs a couple of times yourself personally with Detroit.
Absolutely.
But they actually won this game the first time in many years.
I mean, you guys know, man, 0-16, the worst franchise in NFL history. You
weren't there for that, were you?
No, I wasn't there for that. I was in Tennessee.
I didn't think so.
Coach Swartz, when he came over as a head coach for the Lions, he brought me over here in free agency. And, we talked about changing the culture in Detroit. And I think the Ford family has done a phenomenal job of just bringing the right people in, understanding their pitfalls with certain coaches, getting rid of that, bringing in the right guy, a former player like Dan Campbell. I think Mr. Holmes is doing a great job as well, just kind of putting the pieces in place. I mean, for the first time, I think we all can agree that Detroit has some kind of relevancy. Yeah. In that division. Obviously, you played Chicago. So
I was rooting for him. No, I was rooting for Detroit. I promise you, I was. I was rooting for him.
Not against San Francisco.
We weren't going nowhere. I love the story. Yeah. I love what they were doing. Right. And do you think Dan Campbell is a guy you would love to have played for?
I think so. Number one, Caldwell to me is one of the best coaches I've ever been around. Coach Caldwell. I think he's phenomenal, great man, great leadership. I think just, Campbell, he played the game, so it's a little bit different, but it speaks the same message. So I think you could tell the way the guys played from previous season, going 1-7 and then turning back around and winning the last game and beating Green Bay to keep them out the playoffs. So you could tell when a team believes in the coach and plays the way they play, you got something. And it showed this year when they opened up the season against Kansas City, how they won that game and how the season ended. So I think Detroit's in a great spot. Obviously, we would like the outcome to be a little bit different in the NFC Championship game, and we'll be talking about a little bit different with the Lions being the Super Bowl. But nevertheless, I think they had a great season, and they definitely have something to build on going.
All right, tell me this though: should he kick the field goal?
To be quite honest with you, I think we all agree maybe he should have. Right? Yeah. I think it's a safe place. But he's been a gambler all season. Yeah. And it's so
and it's worked for him.
It's worked for him. So unfortunately, it kind of backfired on him. But I think for the most part, you got to live by it, you die by it. Yeah. And so I think he got him to that point. It just shows where the team's at mentally, now. And next year has to be that next step. And
since we're talking about the playoffs, let's maybe rehash this wound for you. I believe you guys went to the playoffs in 2012 and played against the New Orleans Saints. I think you guys lost pretty bad.
Yeah, we did. We did. That was a tough loss, man. We went to your hometown, went to your city. Obviously, it was a great game. Drew Brees. We had you guys the first half. Yeah. And then Sproles kind of got going and the offense
damn Sproles.
Sproles was a little secret sauce. Guy. But obviously, Drew is phenomenal quarterback. You have a great organization. So, kudos to you, but,
was it good, though, just to take Detroit to the playoffs? No,
I think it was great. To be quite honest, it was Schwartz's, obviously with my first year in Detroit, and to be this team hadn't been in the playoffs since 93.
Right.
So just to get there, I think it was a great step for us. And I think, we kind of propelled the team into where they're at today to take that next step. So I think it's trending in the right direction. We just got to keep building on that.
So you got drafted by the Titans. At some point you go and you play for the Lions.
Right.
When it was time to retire, why did you pick the Lions over the Titans?
I just love Detroit. I think the Titans, I love the Titans as well, right? But you know how it goes, right? When a team drafts you, other teams seek more value in you than your own team sometimes, right? We all know how it goes, right?
That's true.
So to feel appreciated when you leave, you leave and so many teams are reaching out to you because they want your services. There's no other feeling, especially myself being a 4th round draft pick who left school early as a junior. to finally have that feeling of somebody that wants you, it's a good feeling. So the level of respect that the Ford families gave me when I was there, the organization, top to bottom, it's just, Detroit's just a special place. And, to have the opportunity to play for such a wonderful organization and to have the opportunity to come back and let them know I'm retiring and for them to open the doors to have that press conference for me just speaks to the value of who the organization is and what they stand for. So they had great feeling to come back and just retire a Lion.
Yeah, Coach Caldwell calls you a
man's man.
A man's man.
Yeah.
What is the ultimate compliment? Like for me, I have my own idea of what the ultimate compliment as a football player or as a former player.
Yeah.
What is the ultimate compliment for you when they say Stephen Tulloch dash, what is it?
I think being named a captain, right? I think when you go to the off season and you're practicing during training camp and you're just leading by example, you're not even thinking in second nature, you're just doing what you do. And then your peers around you, all 52 guys, see you as that guy. So when you sit in the auditorium and they pass that sheet around, who do you want to announce your captain? And you come back in at the practice and coach says, we got your captains here for you. I mean, to be that guy that the team depends on and sees that you can lead them is probably one of the greatest feelings of my career that I can ever, besides getting paid and having their contract, having my peers look at me and value me as a guy that they can look up to as a role model to make decisions and lead the team by example. So wearing that C on my chest and walking out for the coin toss every week was one of the special moments of my career.
All right. That's beautiful. I would not have anticipated that. For me, it was like just being called a pro. A pro. Like that means I study right, I do the right things. That was always something I took wholeheartedly. How about you, Peanut?
I think mine was really just work ethic.
Yeah.
I think my teammates appreciated how I worked. I don't think they'll ever say I was a leader. I think I just played too much. I was I was joking all the time. I was a silent professional, but I was jokes. I had jokes for days.
But you made a lot of plays, I mean, every time I watch Sports Center, you knocking the ball out and you causing turnovers. Like, how did this dude do it?
But I was in the room with him. He's right. He cannot be a captain because he plays way too much. He's always got jokes.
I'm serious on the field.
He literally can't
outside.
think something and not say it. He has to say it. I'm like, dude, we were in a very serious moment right there. And you, like, that was, you ruined the whole thing from Coach because you just had to say that. You just couldn't hold it.
I did.
Yeah. And so, yes, that was that. All right. Let's switch gears a little bit. We're talking about the highs. Let's talk about a little bit of a low because I think it's interesting. This probably happens 4 to 5 times a year.
Yeah.
From high school to pros. Somebody gets hurt while celebrating. So you tore an ACL versus Green Bay during the celebration after a sack. Looked like you were doing the discount double check.
Right,
versus Aaron Rodgers, a little and you landed, you're like,
oh, man.
And it just went down.
Crazy, man. And what's crazy is, right, I've started 100 and something or played 130 something games straight. So before the game, they announced on TV on the big screen, Stephen Tulloch entering 136 straight start. I'm like, this feels good. But we're off to a great start, man. We're like, 3-1 going into Green Bay, right?
Yeah.
Green Bay's always been little brother to us for a long time. Aaron, man, he always talking crap. And, he's just nonstop.
Sure. Yeah.
And
bump
man,
you, Aaron.
Yeah, I love Aaron, but man,
we love to have you on, but bump you.
Yeah. But crazy freak situation, right? Jumped up, came down, and it's just unbelievable, man. It's almost like everything slowed down. Like, I've never missed a game. I started pretty much every game in my career, and then the next week, my guy Lamar Houston, with you guys, did the same thing. And it's
I remember that
back-to-back weeks, right? And something that's never happened before, but
never.
I think he did his in Detroit.
No, his was in Chicago versus like fourth quarter.
It was after a sack.
Same thing, right? So rehab, missed all of 14, pretty much 3 games, missed all of 14, which is crazy. Went to the playoffs, we lost to Dallas, and then had another year. They brought me back and finished my career in Philly. But yeah, one of those things that first time in my career I've ever had adversity. I've ever missed a game, ever missed practice. So it was something that I was prepared for mentally because I prepared like a pro week in and week out. So I just handled it like anything else. But one of those moments that, hey, it is what it is. And you just kind of bounce back and rehab and finish my career. Did 2 more years after that and got 11 years in.
So are you the guy now that's like, hey, celebrate a little bit differently? Do you warn people about that?
I think at the end of the day, man, you got to enjoy the game, man. You know how much energy goes into this thing, man. How much work goes in from chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncture, hot tub, cold tub, just to get to the game.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And to make a play, I mean, it's like, and the world's watching. It's an unbelievable feeling, right? So I just think, in my situation, I think more of a freak situation. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, man, I think guys should definitely enjoy the game, celebrate the hard work you put in there. Obviously, you're marketing, you're your own entity. Show that. You know what I'm saying? It's just unfortunate in my situation.
I got what, 13? You got what? 11.
Yep.
I know you asked
a lot of ball in here.
This question, but I'm saying it in one way. If you could sum up your career, how would you sum it up in one word? Your entire 11 years.
My entire 11 years, one word. I would say resilient.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say resilient. I think coming in as a fourth rounder, being a special teams guy, and you guys know you got to stay ready, so you don't got to get ready.
Exactly.
Right? Guy goes down versus Kansas City. We're playing Priest Holmes and Tony Gonzalez in Kansas City. And from that moment on, I started the rest of my career leading up to my last year.
And what year was that for you?
That was year 2.
Year 2, okay.
So, second game of year 2, I became a starter all the way to year 10. And for me, man, that moment was like an unbelievable situation because what you put on film is what they value at.
No doubt.
I mean, there's no, okay, coach, I'll do it again next week. No, this is your opportunity. So you study your playbook, you know what cover one is, you know your zone, you know what to drop, what the reads are. And so I've always prepared like a pro, like I'm going to play. And so having that mindset, understanding when the opportunity came, I was ready for it and never looked back. And, 10, 11 years, 9 years later, I was able to have a strong career and do 11 years. But as you know, man, the opportunity comes knocking, you got to take advantage of it because there's so many guys that are number 2, number 3 on the depth chart that deserve to be starters, but they're just in the bad spot when it comes to position. So to have the opportunity present itself, I never look back.
I just think it's amazing that just because my story's a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
We all have them different. So I started early and I started as a rookie. But I don't think people understand how hard it is to not be an everyday starter in the NFL, to be a special teams guy. And then if somebody goes down, like you got to be able to do both.
Double duty.
And you can't drop off.
Can't.
I don't think people understand that.
You cannot do that.
That is the hardest thing.
You cannot do that.
Is to prepare all week long, not to know that you're not going to play.
Right.
Then be called to duty and then not mess it up. And so I want to give you your flowers now because I didn't know that's how you got your first start.
That was it. I was a special teams guy and opportunity, and then that was it. I became a starter, middle linebacker for the Titans with Keith Bullock and Thornton next to me. Then went to Detroit with Levy and those guys, and with the Philly. It's crazy how that works, man. I'm telling you, man, everything happens for a reason. But it's the mindset of being an underdog and just preparing like you're a pro and making sure you're ready when your number is called. And like I said, having great mentorship during the course of my career really helped my mindset be ready to prepare like I was going to play. And like you said, man, I did special teams and was a starter until I became a 3-down player, and then I kind of get off special teams. But I think any guy that comes in late rounds, you got to have your mind right, understand that you were the guy in college, but you got to humble yourself. And when we had that meeting, you know how it is on Wednesday. We watch, everybody's in that room watch special teams. They want to see who that dog's going to be. They're watching. Okay, coach, we got to put him in. Coach, he's playing on special teams. Now you vouching for your guy. You see what he can do, and you want to see him do. And that's kind of how it was for me. A lot of guys wanted to see me play. So when the opportunity presented itself, I was ready.
But I don't think people realize that a special teams player, you still a starter in the National Football League.
Absolutely.
It's not offense or defense, but you are still a starter. If you're a kick return, you're a core four. You are a starter in the league. I don't think people realize that.
Value.
I didn't think like that at first.
Yeah, because you're like, damn, you feel like you just like a guy. Yeah.
But I didn't think like that until the coach said it, and I was like, well, dang, you can get paid. You can pay double-digit years. You can go to Pro Bowls. You can, this. You can eat off of this special teams gig, right?
You really can.
I started all 13 of my years. I was 13.
Oh, yeah?
I started all 13 years on special teams and on defense. Like I was.
Dino was like a punt return specialist.
Bro.
That's like what he did. He was out there. I'm like, bro, how do you do this? Because we were teammates. And I'm like, how do you do this? Because I was never a special teams guy. And for those that don't know, if you're not a special teams guy, you don't get to become a special teams guy like you're 8, 9.
No,
like
you out the league.
You
go from starter to team, you out the league, bro.
You out.
You go from special team to starter.
Yeah.
But you can't go backwards, man.
You do not go backwards.
Unless you're trying to steal. You're like, man, I'm going to steal me one. I'm going to be a mentor in the locker room.
You don't get to go back.
If you're kicking looking back at Elf, you know what I mean, at that guard position.
Yeah.
Year 8, it's a problem.
Yeah, it's like people don't understand that. The struggle is real. So because I never did it, like I'm looking at people like, I don't understand
so
it.
you were the guy who came late after practice started, the guys right there warming
exactly.
you watching them do this.
And I'm like, I'm over like, Peter, how you do this, dog? Like how?
I never came off.
And you're like, I don't know, I've just been doing it.
You know, back in the days, they had player performance, right? So that was an extra snap.
Yeah.
But
especially a 4th round guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That money matters. All right. I want to know this though. So you kind of hinted on it earlier.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this transition period.
Second act.
And like, yes. And the whole thing we do with this whole podcast, talk about our second act, and yours has been successful. And so let's talk about the period of like, okay, you talked about following your mentor, the Thornton guy, and said, okay, second year I go and do what?
Entrepreneurship on Stanford University.
Stanford University. And the reasoning behind it was?
Prepare. I mean, I was a 4th round draft pick. I wasn't starting at the time, right before I became a starter. And he talked to me, said, Steve, he told him, man, you know, you got a little signing bonus. You made just under $1 million. He said, start preparing, understand how money works, right? Understand taxes, understand your family's going to ask you for stuff. Understand this all now. So when hopefully one day you do get the money, you understand how it works. And so, man, I really thank him a lot for it because I didn't have financial literacy growing up. I'm the first person to ever make money in my family.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm teaching my family how finances work and say, we can't just give it because you think I have it. You know, it's about longevity and growth and reinvesting and keep it. So I have my, you know, so this teaching that financial literacy to my family was very important. So going to Stanford University and understanding how money works and networking and being in position really helped me understand that, you know what, there's life after football and prepare for it now. And so just going through those courses, I'm telling you, man, like without those courses, I don't know where I'd be at now, just from a financial standpoint. As a guy that's retired, I know so many guys that have left the game and just in disarray.
Yes.
You know, who's made tens of millions more than me, who they ain't really doing good. You know, suicidal thoughts, depression, anxiety. So I work with a company called Pro Athletes Community. Caleb Thornhill now is with the San Antonio Spurs, but we help players transition. Work with the Miami Dolphins in the offseason and just current and former players during the offseason as well. Just, you know, they come to the coffee shop. We talk about life and about transitioning, how to be a pro on and off the field and preparing for it now. So when it hits you, you're not wondering.
Completely shocked.
You're not deer in the headlights. So I think, man, for us, man, entrepreneurship is football. It teaches you consistency, discipline, accountability, right? When you keep those 3 things in your mind and you live that every day, you're going to be successful. You're going to hold yourself accountable. So I think just for guys that are leaving the game or playing the game, understanding that you have to prepare now for life after football because you just never know when it's going to end. So just being that voice for them is important for me.
So I see you got a little drinky drink in your hand. Can you list all of the ventures that you're currently doing right now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I got into commercial real estate. Well, my foundation, number one, is kind of what I love to do, giving back, helping people.
What's the name of your foundation?
Stephen Tulloch Foundation.
Okay.
Helping
and what do they do?
So we help underprivileged kids, women with breast cancer, foster care kids, kids with adverse situations. I've been doing that since I was in college, NC State, Community Service of the Year Award. Like I grew up in a nursing home. My mom was a private nurse. So growing up as a kid, I used to push patients around to bingo and to get their hair done and, always serving people. My mom always serving people.
I bet the bingo things are fire.
Oh, fire. Absolutely. They're violent in there for bingo. But just having the opportunity to have a mom that understood that we didn't have much growing up, but giving is more than receiving. Mm-hmm. And so having a platform, the NFL Shield, propelled me to understand that, I'm in a situation where I can bring awareness to a lot of things. So having that foundation for me was huge. So my foundation, number one, is key. I started into commercial real estate in 2017. I started buying property in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, bought some buildings, some land. And I came up with this idea of opening up a coffee shop and drive-through, which is the first one in downtown Fort Lauderdale. I went to coffee school in Seattle Barista Academy out in Seattle, learned coffee. I hired the teacher as my consultant. I flew back to Fort Lauderdale. I'd fly him every 2 weeks from Seattle on Southwest. He'd stay at my house. And I created this brand called Circle House Coffee. I went on GoDaddy.com for $107. I bought the name Circle House Coffee for $107. Went to Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, took the handlers for it. And then I went ahead and, trademarked and got my lawyers involved and created the logo and the brand. And we created the brand 2019. So it'll be 5 years, March 9th, it'll be 5 years in business. But since then, we've just been growing, work with NFL teams like the Miami Dolphins, Detroit Lions. Now we're working on some stuff with the NFL, some other teams that we're working on, just kind of distribute our coffee. So this is our first, coffee in a can. It's our nitro cold brew.
Put that on tape now.
Yeah, it's our nitro cold brew.
There
it's
it
something
is.
that I've always envisioned having. It talks about our mission, our story, thanking the fans, the community for being a part of our mission to help give back one sip at a time. So everything that we do when we sell these cans, we take a part of the portions and give them our foundation, which we give at the community. So it's not just about coffee, just having a great coffee. It's about the brand behind it and the impact that we're making behind coffee. And so I think that's our mission, is to be able to keep impacting the world. I was able to build a school in my mom's hometown in Jamaica in 2017 through my foundation for 180 kids in my mom's hometown, named after my mom, Mercedes B. Tulloch Infant School. So just giving back as much as I can, man, because like you said, it's all about our legacy, what we leave.
Yeah.
You never, Denzel Washington said it most, man, you'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to give more than you receive, blessings come in so many forms, and I live by that every day. So Circle House Coffee is my brand that I'm really true to in commercial real estate.
Now, why coffee though? Like, have you been drinking coffee your
so
entire?
as you know, in football, man, you get that facility. It's early morning, long days.
Meetings.
And so it means right. So you try to stay awake, right? So you go in that cafe, pour some coffee, and you eat them sunflower seeds. You're just trying to stay glued to the screen.
Everybody
Sunflower seeds, coffee, and dip.
And that was it. Dip. Those are 3 ingredients, right? You got to pick one of your poisons, right?
Everybody's got
so my thing
dog.
was coffee. I'm like, damn, you know what, man? It's crazy, man. I want to be inclusive. I don't really see a lot of minority coffee shops. I'm like, you know what, man? I'm gonna make a staple on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get in the coffee industry. I'm gonna learn it, number one. I'm gonna invest my money in it. I'm gonna own my real estate because I know that I can grow equity in my real estate. So worst case scenario, if my coffee venture doesn't work, I still own my real estate. I can lease it out and make money and be a landlord. Right. So I own all my properties and stuff like that. So I did that. The brand worked out. We're 5 years in. We're expanding. And hopefully you see this in North Carolina and in Chicago in your convenience stores here shortly.
Yeah. So where can the people buy right now?
So right now you can go to circlehousecoffee.com. You can order on our website. Like I said, we're going to be distributing. This is our launch for Super Bowl. We're just launching the cans now.
Yeah.
But circlehousecoffee.com, you can find it. We sell whole beans, grind beans, 5 pounds, 12 ounces, our cold brew nitro. We're going to do some CBD infused, THC infused coffee. So we got a lot of things in the work, but love Circle House Coffee, man. It's phenomenal. You guys should try. We'll leave some stuff for you before you leave.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
I'm going to definitely get on that.
2 questions for you. Number 1, I want to go back. You said you went to coffee school.
Yeah.
Right. Let's indulge in that for me. Just tell me, explain to me, for those that don't know, like myself, because I'm not a coffee drinker.
Yeah. So I think before getting into anything, whatever it is you want to invest your money in as an individual, you never want to count on somebody else's understanding. You want to know where you're putting your money at and understand how things move, what it does, how it makes the process of it. So being that I wanted to start a coffee shop, I went to coffee school to understand what is coffee. What are the beans? How do you roast it? How do you temp it? Like, what temperature does it have to be at? How do you steam your milk and foam it? I want to understand the logistics of coffee. Coffee is one of the largest commodities in the world. It costs a couple cents to make, but yet $5-6 to sell. I mean, the returns on coffee is crazy, right? And so to be able to get into that game and now really seeing it and how it works and the money behind it, it's unbelievable. It's like modern day, drugs. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that people are addicted to. But I love it. And so going to coffee school helped me understand that what coffee was, how it works, but then hiring the teacher. I never forget, I asked the guy, I said, can I get your phone number and email address? I'd love to talk to you when I get back to Florida. So I called him. I said, look, man, I don't know much about coffee. I recorded the class while I was there, but would love for you to be a consultant. At that time, he was the lead guy for University of Washington's coffee program. He says, I'd love to be a consultant. I said, look, I'll pay you XYZ. You can fly in town. I'll fly you in Southwest Red Eye. So when you fly home, you can go straight to the campus onto university and work and just help me build it out, man. And he became my general manager after that. We've been building the brand, and it's just been an amazing ride. Aside from that, I do a lot of commercial real estate. I do triple net leases with national brands, Charlie's Cheesesteaks, Performance Napa, do mixed use buildings, and I'm in residential. So I do a lot more passive income stuff just because, I want my money working for me.
Yes. Different
streams of income coming in at one time. So coffee's one, and my real estate and my 10-year leases are others, and just kind of keep building my portfolio.
I love that. And my other question was after the coffee thing, where's I about to go with that? I was literally, go ahead.
We'll stay on coffee. How did you get the opportunity to work with the Miami Dolphins.
That's what I wanted to go with.
Oh, yeah, I got you, boo.
Thank you.
So how did you get them to have the opportunity to have them be your coffee brand?
So I'll start back here. So it's about relationships.
Yeah.
Right. It's all about how you handle yourself as a pro. Right. When you're in the game, how you conduct yourself. Right. Because it's all about relationships. Everyone knows everyone in this fraternity.
Right.
Right. So when they vouch for you, you know, this guy's a great person. He's been consistent. You can trust him, XYZ. So I work with, like I mentioned before, I work with the Miami Dolphins for the business entrepreneurship program every year, February.
Yep.
So they have about 40 or so of their players come to my coffee shop. We'll sit down. I have my financial advisor, my CPA. We're not soliciting anything. We're just talking about taxes, understanding diversification, understanding how to handle your money, and understanding entrepreneurship. So we do that for about 2-3 days every year. We have like 5 different groups that come in. So over time, the Miami Dolphins knew that I was bringing in players. Caleb Thornhill reached out to the Dolphins, said, you know, Stephen Tulloch has this coffee brand. They brought me in there and said, absolutely, Caleb, you know, we respect you. We see what he's doing. All of our staff, they go to Circle House Coffee. We'd love to have it in the building. And so from there, it just propelled. And obviously playing for the Lions, having the opportunity to be Walter Payton Man of the Year there and doing a lot of stuff in the community. They opened the doors for me already. So I tell guys, out of sight, out of mind. It's all about the relationships you have while you play. Don't burn your bridges. And because you never know if you're going to have to reach back. And so by doing so, I was able to reach back to them. Obviously, Tracy, just everyone who ever formed a relationship throughout my career. And those doors open up for you because they know your character, they know how you handle yourself and how you go about your business day to day. So having those relationships help open the door for me, but obviously still performing and providing excellence along that journey.
I just think it's cool because that's what I was going to go to is that, I mean, you guys got it on tap. Like they got coffee on tap in Miami Dolphins facility, right? Like it looks like a beer tap.
They just made a delivery today. You know, so like I said, man, just growing. You know, my vision is to get more teams, which we will. Get the NFL, which we will.
So they're all cold or they hot? Like
so we do both. So we do cold brew, we do nitro, and we do drip coffee.
What's your favorite?
I'm really loving this new cold brew that we have. I really, really love it. But I'm more of a latte guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm more of like an alternative milk, plant-based, you know, macadamia milk. I don't drink whole milk. Double shot of espresso with a little bit of vanilla, and I'm good to go. But our coffee is the best coffee. Circle House Coffee.
Circle House.
Circle House Coffee.
Now, how'd you come up with the name?
So Circle House, giving back one sip at a time. So if you look at the logo, it's a house and there's rays coming out of it. So this house is inclusive of everybody, straight, gay, and indifferent.
Yeah.
You know, it's about coming together for one mission that's helping people involve. So we have different charities that we raise awareness for every month or so that we try to, you know, raise initiative for. So everybody coming into one house with one mission, that's to help people. So that rays that come out of that cup are rays of just giving back. So Circle House Coffee, giving back one sip at a time. So circle and just come revolving circle of giving back, coming in, giving back, coming in. So that's what Circle House Coffee is about.
You are extremely busy and you do a lot from the coffee, the foundation, commercial real estate, residential real estate. Mm-hmm. What's next? What are you going to do next?
I don't know. I think just keep growing in my portfolio. To be quite honest with you, just have the opportunity to be first generation to even open up doors financially, I think is the biggest thing for me. You know, obviously growing up as a kid, I think we all can attest to this, that our goal was to play football, to take care of our family.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But now you're in a different situation where now you have some monetary gains. You've reaped the benefits of playing the NFL. Now you can teach your kids a different way, that football's not the only answer. You could teach them financial literacy, things that you didn't know, we didn't know growing up. You could teach them how to reinvest money, how dividends work, how to diversify your portfolio, how to 70%, 30%, how to really, do that. So I think for me, it's just keep growing the portfolio, keep being a mentor to a lot of these young guys, be a mentor to my future kids, and to have a foundation. So when I leave this earth, they could be like, my dad, my dad made me proud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He left something behind for us. He wasn't just a football player. He's more than an athlete, and he took advantage of his opportunities.
Man, that's well said as well. I'd like to know a little bit more about your foundation side and what you're calling the Operation 55. Mm-hmm. Could you maybe share with us a little bit about that? Yeah, so Operation
55, I'm going to give a shout out to Sherry Andrew. She helped me create Operation 55. First, it was the Stephen Tulloch Foundation. But when I got to Detroit as a free agent in 2011, I think it was August, I met Sherry. And she's like, look, I got a great idea. We should call it Operation 55, right? We're going to take 55 kids with cancer to every home game. So we reached out to the Lions. The Lions said, absolutely. We'll get you tickets to every home game for 55 kids dealing with cancer. We'll provide them food, beverages to every home game.
Wow.
So we get T-shirts for them with 55 in the back. The foundation, if it was Kids Cancer Month, it was yellow. If it was Breast Cancer Month, it was pink, right? And so every home game, we had kids sold out my whole time that I was there in Detroit. We took 55 public schools in Detroit. We raised money through all of our resources, our sponsors, the network that I made. We would provide school materials to all Detroit public schools, laptops, tablets, books. Detroit public school is very rough. And when you walk in that public school, you got to go through metal detectors. And we provided 55 schools with essentials for them to be able to take care of their business. And just different things, athletes adopting families, Angels of Hope, breast cancer in October. Operation 55 was just a whole nother level. Like I didn't, I can't take all the credit on that one. It was brought to me through Sherry, but we just really, really made big efforts in Detroit. And now we propel that to life after football with this coffee shop. So now we keep that legacy going, or keep that mindset going of being able to, everything we do is in 55 cent donations, 55 cents for every can that we sell. Every bag that we sell goes to the foundation, and that's what keeps the foundation going, to be able to give back and help places like Cuba, Peru, Jamaica, Haiti, the places that we do work in.
Dude, you are the most interesting man in the world.
Nah, don't give me that. I'm trying.
I like it. So I got a children's book. I wrote me and a guy, we co-authored this children's book, and I'm not going to say it was hard because I didn't do all the writing. I just kind of gave the interview part and just kind of said, hey, maybe we add this, maybe we take this out. But he's the journalist, he's the scholar, he's the English guy. So you have a book, The Little Linebackers.
Yes.
A story of determination.
Yeah.
I apologize. A story of determination. What was harder, writing this book or tackling Adrian Peterson?
Oh, man.
Adrian Peterson. I'm talking about Adrian Peterson in his prime.
Different name. We play him twice a year, bro.
Yeah,
we already knew.
Yeah.
You knew when you played Minnesota what your mindset had to be. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, but ain't no running back in the game that I played outside of maybe Marshawn or maybe Maurice Jones-Drew and Fred T and them boys twice a year, that you had to have your mind right going into that game, because you just never know. He either run through you or he will run around you. You know what I'm saying? So you can't stop your feet. You got to shoot, and everybody has to rally. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, literally everybody has to rally. Like, look, I might shoot, I'm gonna miss, but I need you to clean up for me.
Yep.
Ain't no guarantee I'm gonna get him down. You know what I'm saying?
I always thought that was the best thing about playing against AP.
You have to shoot.
It was okay.
It was okay if you missed.
I agree. It was like he was easier because he was powerful, he was fast, he was shifty, but the best way to tackle him was to just go shoot at him.
You just had to shoot.
Just go shoot at him.
It was okay because somebody behind you pulled the clean up for you.
But everybody else was on to the game.
Yes.
So I think that's what, to me, was easier with AP.
He's the only guy that ran away from me.
He's unbelievable.
Like, he's the only.
Oh, you can't let that.
He was like a creative player.
Yeah, head start bobbling.
He started going like this.
It's a wrap.
It's over.
That's when it was
gone.
The only guy that I couldn't. The only guy just twice in one game just
you knew
put
it.
them burners on. I was
and one
like,
hit, he's gone. You know what I'm saying? But I'll say AP. But I would say making that book was amazing. Little Linebacker Story of Determination. Talked about my life just basically as an underdog, undersized. People telling me I was too small, wasn't big enough, I'll never make it. Just to have that mindset, understanding that it doesn't matter what limitations people put on you, you have the ultimate, last say. And so just going through adversity of being an undersized player at my position, not being picked first as a kid because they said I was too small. Just the mindset, man, my heart was bigger than my body, and nobody could outwork my mindset. And so just to be able to get to lead and to be an inspiration to the younger kids out there who said they're too small, they're not big enough, just let them know that it's all about your mindset. You don't put the limitation on yourself. It was important for me to make that book, and we're coming out with a new one here pretty soon that we're working on, Life After Football and Transition Kids book. Just to kind of, just like I said, be an inspiration, man. Just use our platform and to be able to give back and help the younger kids. Because as you know, growing up as kids, we didn't have really people coming back talking to us about, success and what it looks like and how to get there. So having these podcasts, what you're doing, man, I can tell you, I can contest to it. There's kids back at home that watch you guys and see you guys as role models. So I can't reiterate, man, like y'all keep doing what you're doing because you're making an impact on a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about.
I appreciate that. I don't take those words lightly. Peanut, I hope you receive that.
Words matter.
Which I know words matter. That's a big thing for me. I also went and checked out your book last night on Amazon. I don't know who's selling it. It was for $400.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was thinking about buying one, but I don't know about 400.
No, not for 400. We gonna get you right.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Right,
you know what I mean? I got 4 little ones. So
we're gonna reach out to the right people and get that right.
Okay, I appreciate that. I just want to let you know.
Yeah. We'll get that right.
Yeah,
it ain't
on my
400.
research
I think it's
tour.
like $12.
Yeah, that's why I was.
We'll get it to you.
Okay. Just send me the link.
I'm a personal mail you one.
Just send me the link. I'll pay for it.
Limited edition.
Yeah, we good.
Yeah, but you can actually order at circlehousecoffee.com. When you go to the shop section, the kids books in this. You go order it there as well. Yeah.
Everything is circlehouse.com.
Yeah, circlehouse.com.
All right. I can't wait to hear this. And this is a question I usually reserve for Peanut, but I'll do it this time. So we always talk about our levels of influence, people that have really mattered to us the most and really poured into us or helped make us who we are. And so we talk about our own personal Mount Rushmore on this show.
Right.
And so we would like to know who is on your Mount Rushmore of personal influence.
How many people do I get? I'll give you a couple.
4.
I think my mom, number one, just who she is as a person, what she's able to do coming from Jamaica in her early 20s, to be able to lay a foundation for me and understanding that hard work pays off. My mom is everything.
And shout out to Steven here, who also I saw on Instagram, paid off his mom's house. And so congratulations for doing such a great thing where a lot of sons are not able to do. You doing that for your mom is beautiful as well. So shout out to her and what you're doing.
Growing up as a kid, the bills are always a conversation. Her having to borrow money from people to keep the lights on. So when I got drafted and I finally got paid, I went ahead and wrote that 6-figure check and paid off her house. And so to me, that was probably one of the greatest moments of my life. You saw the video, man. It was genuine. I did. You know what I mean? And her struggling to pay those bills and knowing she didn't have to worry about that anymore. It was one of the greatest accomplishments I ever had. But my mom, number one, there's a guy named Jay Lochevich, my mom's boss, a Jewish guy, passed away now. My mom worked in a nursing home for a lady named Rachel, and Jay was the son. But he took liking to me. He saw me at the nursing home every day, pushing his mom around, with my mom sleeping in the lobby when my mom worked overnight, having to get up, take a shower in the old folks' shower before they woke up to walk across the street to school. And he seen me about my first computer, my first bicycle, put me into tutoring. He really believed in me. When I got drafted, he's helped me pick my agents with Neil Swartz and Drew Rosenhaus, financial advisor, got me with the right financial advisor, taught me about checks and balances, not having the same financial advisor as your CPA. They should know each other. Yep. Every month, meet with both of them, checks and balances, make sure you have your write-off. Like, he taught me financial literacy. But he believed in me at the age of 7 years old, all the way to the age of 22 before he passed away. I don't think without him, I'd have the same mindset that I have now, just from that monetary mindset, just being a man. So I'd put him at number 2. Number 3, my mentor, just being a pro, what I'd say would be David, right? Just taking on a 21-year-old kid, leaving college early as a junior, getting to the NFL and walking in that locker room for the first time and seeing all these guys with big chains on, big drip, big cars, and he said, don't follow these guys. This is what don't do that.
That was 2000s football, right?
Like, don't do that. Don't wear the jewelry. Don't follow him. Right. He ain't gonna be around a long time. But just teaching me to understand how to be a pro on and off the field, help propel my career to a whole nother trajectory. And there's a bunch of other people between my aunt and family, just friends. I'd say the right friends that I have in my circle now really help keep me humble. They believe in everything that I do. They stick behind me. They give me 100% of them. I give 100% to them as well. So I'll put my friends category as a 4th, because I have real solid friends in my life who tell me when I'm wrong, who I take constructive criticism from. That's the thing about football, is it teaches you how to have thick skin. I think a lot of people are sensitive nowadays. When you talk to them about certain things, they get on their feeling, how can you talk to me that way? I said, no, I'm not coming at you. I'm trying to mentor you and give you positivity so you don't make these bad mistakes. I'm in your corner. I want to see you win. Yeah. I'm more excited to see people win than I am anything. I'm more excited to see people win than I'm gonna win. Yeah. Because I know what winning feels like. We've all been a part of winning teams, right? You've Super Bowls and made money and been, we understand what that side looks like. So when you see people in your peer group that are getting to that level, you're excited for them because you know the feeling of it. That's how I am. So having friends like that who I can talk to and encourage, I think for me is, I put my friends, a group of friends in that 4th slot on the Mount Rushmore. But my mom, Mr. Lochevich, and Eric Thomas and those guys for sure.
Yeah. Hey man, that was good. We appreciate you coming on the show. That's awesome. I'm excited about Circle House Coffee. CircleHouseCoffee.com.
Absolutely.
I'll be going on there checking out the coffee, the nitro, the cold nitro.
Appreciate that.
The beans, the whatever. I'm gonna buy a book. I got 4 little ones. I got 4 minis at the crib.
Appreciate that.
No, man. Thanks for blessing us. I'm excited about what 2024 holds for you and your business and
Thank you.
all the ventures you're doing, man. And I wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah, I wish you guys nothing but the best as well. You guys keep doing what you're doing, man. Thank you for having me and taking the time, and I'll be back soon.
No, man, I appreciate it, bro. I can't wait till you turn freaking 41 or 42. Like, you're gonna be done taking.
You look older than me. You about what, 43?
I am 41.
41, okay.
I just turned 41.
I tell everybody he's 50. And then they think.
I mean, if I'm 50, I look good. Damn,
and that's what I'm saying.
You look good for
y'all look great, man.
You're really 41.
Yeah, Peanut's older than me. All right, we're gonna get up out of here. Y'all ready? Let's get up out of here, man. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for always tuning in, watching, or listening wherever you listen or pick up your podcast, whether it's Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating. Tell a friend to do what, Peanut?
Tell a friend.
There we go. And appreciate it. Give us a review. Click that follow button. We'll holler at y'all later, man. Stephen Tulloch, we're out.
Absolutely.
Thanks as always for listening to the NFL Players Second Acts podcast.
It's a wrap.